Right now, some of the best motorcycles ever made are sitting unsold in dealerships across the country. Not because they aren't reliable, but because interest rates, shifting trends, and rider habits have changed everything. Stick around. Number 1 proves even premium brands aren't safe anymore. Number 14, Honda Goldwing Tour DCT. In Florida and Texas, 2 of the strongest touring markets in the country, one of the most advanced motorcycles ever built is now sitting untouched in showrooms. The Goldwing Tour DCT has long been considered the benchmark for long-distance comfort and engineering refinement. Powered by an 1,833 cubic centimeter flat 6 engine, it produces approximately 126 horsepower and 125 pound-feet of torque. The braking system features dual front discs with 6 piston calipers and a single rear disc, all supported by a full anti-lock braking system. Suspension includes a double wishbone front setup and a rear single shock with a ProLink system. Wet weight reaches 916 pounds with a seat height of 29.3 inches. Starting price is $28,600. What makes this touring heavyweight so capable is also part of what makes it difficult to sell in today's shifting market. It features a dual-clutch automatic transmission, an integrated infotainment system, heated grips and seats, electronically adjustable suspension, and a trunk that swallows full-size gear. On paper, it offers everything a rider could ask for. But for many older buyers looking to downsize or simplify, the overwhelming tech package feels like too much. Younger riders, meanwhile, have leaned toward lighter adventure tourers and hybrid-use motorcycles that offer more flexibility with less bulk. Dealerships in Fort Lauderdale and Houston report that even longtime touring enthusiasts are hesitating at the thought of managing nearly 1,000 pounds of machine, though the Goldwing is virtually unmatched in long-haul comfort and build quality. It no longer lines up with the average rider's priorities. From luxury kings to stripped-down classics, even heritage bikes aren't immune. Are you shocked by these unsold bikes? Like, subscribe and comment below. Let us know which model you think should be moving off the showroom floor right now. Number 13, Harley-Davidson Road King Special. In Wisconsin and Ohio, where the brand's identity runs deep, even a touring icon like the Road King Special is beginning to lose ground. Known for its commanding presence and stripped-down power, this machine delivers the essence of heavyweight American touring without the digital distractions found on other models. At its heart is a Milwaukee 8 114 engine displacing 1,868 cubic centimeters, producing 105 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by dual front discs and a rear disc, paired with a standard anti-lock braking system. The suspension setup includes a dual bending valve, front fork, and emulsion rear shocks with hand-adjustable preload. Wet weight is 805 pounds, with a seat height of 26.4 inches. Starting price is $24,999. The Road King Special was built for riders who appreciate clean lines, classic styling, and raw performance. It offers plenty of torque for highway overtakes, long wheelbase stability, and a slammed look that appeals to traditionalists. What it does not offer is a touchscreen, a built-in infotainment system, or flashy visual upgrades. For many riders, that was once a point of pride. Now, however, it's becoming a sticking point. Buyers walking into dealerships in Milwaukee and Columbus are increasingly drawn to tech-heavy baggers or crossover models that offer more features for the price. The irony is that the Road King still delivers exactly what it was designed for: undistracted riding, confident highway handling, and a connection to Harley's purest roots. But in a market that rewards new features and digital integration, even the most authentic experience can be seen as lacking. But what happens when a premium bike is too perfect and still can't move? Looking for the perfect gear to match your ride? From helmets to gloves, our favorite picks are linked right below. Don't miss them. Number 12, BMW R9T Pure. Across California and Colorado, the R9T Pure is sitting motionless in showrooms, not because it lacks quality, but because it refuses to follow the crowd. Designed with minimalism in mind, this roadster blends old-world motorcycle character with modern German precision. Beneath its classic tank and exposed frame lies an air and oil-cooled 1,170 cubic centimeter flat twin engine that delivers 109 horsepower and 86 pound-feet of torque. Braking is managed by dual front 4-piston calipers and a single rear disc, all governed by a full anti-lock braking system. Suspension consists of a conventional 43mm telescopic fork up front and a preload adjustable rear monoshock. Wet weight stands at 489 pounds, with a seat height of 31.7 inches. Starting price is $11,695. The R9T Pure was never meant to be flashy. It was built for riders who crave feel, feedback, and raw riding pleasure. There are no touchscreen displays or elaborate riding modes, just a fuel tank, a throttle, and a boxer engine ready to respond. But that restraint, once seen as elegant, now feels like a compromise to buyers focused on digital features and dashboard data. Riders in San Diego and Denver report that younger customers are passing it by, choosing tech-laden adventure bikes or electric models instead. Despite its capable chassis, spirited performance, and low-maintenance design, the R9T Pure is getting swept aside in a rush for next-generation toys. And when sleek minimalism is no longer enough, the market shifts to tech-packed adventure, unless it's priced wrong. Number 11, Suzuki V-Strom 1050DE. In Utah and Idaho, where adventure bikes rule the open spaces, the V-Strom 1050DE stands out as one of the most capable, yet underappreciated dual-purpose machines on the market. Equipped with a 1,037 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, this model produces 106 horsepower and 74 pound-feet of torque. The braking system includes dual front discs with 4-piston radial-mounted calipers and a single rear disc, all with a full anti-lock braking system. Suspension is fully adjustable, with a 43mm inverted front fork and a link-type rear monoshock. Wet weight measures 566 pounds, and the seat height comes in at 34.6 inches. Starting price is $15,399. The V-Strom name has long been associated with value, durability, and go-anywhere comfort. The 1050DE takes that formula even further with enhanced electronics, switchable off-road traction control, a quick shifter, and wire-spoke wheels built for uneven terrain. On paper, it should be one of the most appealing adventure bikes in its class. Yet buyers in Salt Lake City and Boise are bypassing it in favor of more aggressively marketed options like the Yamaha Tenere 700 or the Honda Africa Twin. The issue isn't performance, it's perception. With Suzuki offering multiple trims under the V-Strom name, buyers often get confused about what version offers what features. The 1050DE, despite being the top-tier model, often gets lost in the shuffle. Dealers are now adding side cases, skid plates, or off-road upgrades just to differentiate it on the showroom floor. And from overlooked adventurers to overbuilt rockets, next up is the biggest motor in production. Number 10. Triumph Rocket 3R. In Texas and Nevada, the Rocket 3R stands proudly on showroom floors, bigger, bolder, and more powerful than nearly anything else on two wheels. It is, by every measure, a feat of modern engineering. At its core is a 3-cylinder, liquid-cooled engine displacing 2,458 cubic centimeters, still the largest production motorcycle engine in the world. This power plant produces an astonishing 165 horsepower and 163 pound-feet of torque braking, is handled by top-shelf Brembo-style calipers on dual front discs with a single rear disc, all supported by a full anti-lock braking system. The suspension features a 47mm adjustable Showa fork up front and a fully adjustable rear monoshock. Wet weight is 761 pounds, with a seat height of 29.5 inches. The starting price is $23,995. There is no questioning the rocket's capability. It rockets forward with unmatched ferocity, glides effortlessly on the highway, and turns heads wherever it goes. But that kind of power comes at a price, literally and figuratively. Buyers in Dallas and Las Vegas, markets known for power cruiser demand, are hesitating at the commitment this machine requires. It is heavy, it is aggressive, and it demands both respect and a thick wallet. Dealers report that showroom traffic has been strong, but conversions are low. Riders admire the rocket, sit on it, and talk about its specs. But when it comes to making a purchase, practicality often wins. Smaller, lighter, and less intimidating bikes, many with similar horsepower for a fraction of the price, are winning the sales battle. From massive muscle to quiet precision, one brand tried to blend both and got stuck in the middle. Number 9. Harley-Davidson Sportster Iron 883. In Pennsylvania and Missouri, where working-class riders have long been the backbone of cruiser culture, the Iron 883 is beginning to lose its grip on the spotlight. This compact air-cooled V-twin has earned its place in Harley history as a dependable, minimalist machine. Under the tank, it features an 883 cubic centimeter Evolution engine, producing 51 horsepower and 54 pound-feet of torque. The braking system includes a single front disc and a single rear disc, both managed by a full anti-lock braking system. Suspension comes in the form of a conventional front fork and coil-over rear shocks. Wet weight measures 563 pounds with a seat height of 25.7 inches. Starting price is $11,999. For decades, the 883 was the perfect first Harley, a stepping stone into the world of heavyweight cruisers. It was raw, affordable, and easy to ride. It delivered classic styling with no unnecessary extras, and it forged its reputation through simplicity and bulletproof reliability. But over time, the rest of the Harley lineup evolved while the Iron 883 stayed exactly the same. In today's market, that's becoming a liability. Riders in Pittsburgh and Kansas City are looking for more comfort, more technology, and better ergonomics. Entry-level does not mean basic anymore. New riders expect standard cruise control, digital displays, and plug-and-play accessories. The Iron 883 offers none of that. And while older riders still respect it, they're increasingly turning to mid-size cruisers with more torque, better suspension, and a more relaxed ride posture. And for the riders seeking versatility, even one of the most clever hybrids is hitting the wall. Number 8. Kawasaki Vulcan S. Across Indiana and Illinois, the Vulcan S continues to gather respect among seasoned riders and new entrants alike. But it is also quietly gathering dust on showroom floors. Designed with versatility in mind, this mid-size cruiser is powered by a liquid-cooled, parallel twin engine displacing 649 cubic centimeters. It produces 61 horsepower and 46 pound-feet of torque. The braking system includes a single front disc with a 2-piston caliper and a rear disc with a single piston caliper, all supported by a full anti-lock braking system. Suspension consists of a 41mm telescopic fork in the front and an offset rear single shock with adjustable preload. Wet weight is 497 pounds, and the seat height measures 27.8 inches. Starting price is $7,999. The Vulcan S was built to offer a fresh approach to cruiser ergonomics. With its innovative Ergo Fit system, riders of varying heights can tailor the bike's handlebar reach, seat placement, and foot peg position to their exact build. It's smooth, nimble, and easy to handle, especially in urban and commuter settings. Yet despite its intelligent design and practical nature, the bike has struggled to define itself in a highly competitive space. In cities like Indianapolis and Chicago, buyers often walk into dealerships with expectations shaped by either sport bikes or traditional cruisers. The Vulcan S fits neatly into neither. It lacks the chrome and growl of a classic V-twin cruiser, and it does not carry the aggressive edge of a sports standard. It's a bike that does nearly everything well, yet it is rarely chosen first. Some riders hesitate at the non-traditional styling. Now let's go off-road. What if the perfect trail machine never got its moment? Number 7. Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled. In Oregon and Vermont, states filled with forest routes and off-road trails, the Desert Sled should be a breakout success. It blends Italian design with real off-road capability, offering a rugged take on the modern classic Scrambler. The bike runs on a 1,079 cubic centimeter air-cooled L-twin engine that puts out 75 horsepower and 50 pound-feet of torque. The braking system includes a single front disc with a radial-mounted Brembo 4-piston caliper and a rear disc, both governed by a full anti-lock braking system. Suspension features a 46mm fully adjustable front fork and a preload and rebound adjustable rear monoshock. Wet weight stands at 461 pounds, with a seat height of 33.9 inches. Starting price is $12,595. The Desert Sled was engineered for more than just style. It was built for terrain. It includes long travel suspension, a reinforced frame, and off-road tires that make it capable on dirt, gravel, and sand. It stands apart from other retro-style bikes by actually being ready for trail duty, not just photo shoots. And yet, despite this unique positioning, it continues to sit unsold in key adventure markets. Buyers in Portland and Burlington often admire its looks, but walk away due to its price or niche focus. Many opt instead for more versatile adventure bikes like the Yamaha Tenere or the KTM 890 Adventure, which provide more power and utility at a similar or lower price. For some, the Desert Sled's off-road capability feels compromised by its heritage styling. For others, it's simply too tall or too single-purpose. Ducati's strategy of retro with real grit remains unmatched, but it may be too subtle for riders who want obvious utility or prestige badges. And speaking of underdogs, this next bike was supposed to take down the king. Number 6, Indian Scout 60. Across South Dakota and New Mexico, where wide roads and clear skies are perfect for low-slung cruisers, the Scout 60 continues to represent American motorcycling heritage in a compact, rider-friendly package. Beneath its streamlined design sits a liquid-cooled V-twin engine displacing 999 cubic centimeters. It delivers 78 horsepower and 65 pound-feet of torque. Braking is managed by a single front disc and a rear disc, supported by a full anti-lock braking system. Suspension includes traditional telescopic forks up front and dual shocks in the rear. The wet weight is 552 pounds, and seat height stands at 25.6 inches. Starting price is $11,499. Designed as the entry point into Indian's cruiser lineup, the Scout 60 checks nearly every box. It is smooth, balanced, forgiving, and still quick off the line. Its lower weight and refined handling make it ideal for new riders, shorter riders, and seasoned veterans looking for a second bike that's easier to manage than a heavyweight touring machine. The styling is sharp but not overbearing, and the ergonomics feel modern while keeping that traditional cruiser feel intact. Yet in cities like Rapid City and Albuquerque, dealership managers report the same concern. Shoppers aren't sure who this bike is really for anymore. The Scout 60 is too premium for true budget buyers and too pared down for those chasing full-size power cruisers. Financing on larger Indians has become more competitive, and that's made it easier for buyers to move up to the full Scout or even the Chief without hesitation. Meanwhile, brand-loyal Harley fans continue to stick with the Iron 883, even if the Scout 60 outperforms it in nearly every metric. Now, from affordability to electrified ambition, one company pushed the future and got burned by the math. Number 5, Zero SRF. In California and Washington, where electric vehicles are more common than ever, the SRF should be dominating urban streets and commuter garages. It is fast, clean, and futuristic, with performance figures that rival many gas-powered sport bikes. This all-electric machine produces the equivalent of 110 horsepower and 140 pound-feet of torque delivered instantly through its direct-drive motor. Braking comes via dual front discs with radial-mounted 4-piston calipers and a single rear disc, all governed by a full anti-lock braking system. Suspension features a Showa 43mm adjustable fork and a piggyback reservoir rear shock. Curb weight is 484 pounds, and the seat height measures 31 inches. Starting price is $20,995. On paper, it sounds nearly perfect. The SRF launches off the line with breathtaking acceleration, requires no oil changes or gas stops, and connects to a smartphone for real-time ride data, diagnostics, and updates. For riders commuting through San Francisco or Seattle, it offers a near-silent, low-maintenance alternative to traditional motorcycles. But on showroom floors, the excitement hasn't translated into consistent sales. Range anxiety continues to plague even the best electric bikes. While the SRF advertises up to 161 miles in city riding, that number drops significantly under highway speeds, hills, or spirited riding. Charging infrastructure also varies widely across regions, and fast charging still requires home installation or dedicated stations. Buyers also express concerns about long-term battery replacement costs and resale value, two areas where internal combustion still holds the advantage. But not all struggles come from the future. Some come from staying too loyal to the past. Number 4, Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. In Michigan and New York, where cruiser culture runs deep and riders value dependability, the Bolt R-Spec should be thriving. It offers the best of stripped-down riding, authentic, low-maintenance, and torque-rich. At its heart is a 4-stroke, air-cooled V-twin engine, displacing 942 cubic centimeters. It delivers 51 horsepower and 58 pound-feet of torque. Braking duties are handled by a single front disc and a single rear disc, supported by a full anti-lock braking system. Suspension includes a conventional telescopic fork up front and dual rear piggyback shocks. Wet weight is 546 pounds, and seat height measures 27.2 inches. Starting price is $8,899. The Bolt R-Spec rides like a classic bobber, compact, sturdy, and purpose-built. It has the look of a vintage machine, but the dependability of modern Yamaha engineering. For riders who want a low-slung cruiser without all the bulk, it's nearly perfect. The engine has enough low-end pull to make it fun, while the ergonomics keep longer rides within reach. It also carries a reputation for reliability that newer boutique brands haven't matched. Yet in Detroit and Albany, dealers are watching it sit unmoved. The problem isn't the machine, it's the silence surrounding it. Yamaha has let the Bolt go without any significant updates in recent years. In a segment where nostalgia can sell, stagnation does not. While Harley-Davidson refreshed its small cruisers and Indian leaned into new trims, the Bolt has stayed exactly the same. There's no new tech, no marketing push, and no headline-grabbing updates. Buyers browsing the showroom overlook it, not because it's weak, but because it's invisible. And if old-school styling is out, where does that leave one of the greatest mid-cruisers ever made? Number 3, Honda Shadow Phantom. In Georgia and North Carolina, two states with proud cruiser legacies, the Shadow Phantom has long held a place as one of the most approachable, stylish, and reliable V-twins on the road. It's powered by a liquid-cooled, fuel-injected V-twin engine, displacing 745 cubic centimeters. It produces 44 horsepower and 47 pound-feet of torque braking, includes a single front disc and a rear drum brake, coordinated by a full anti-lock braking system. The suspension setup consists of conventional front forks and dual rear shocks. Wet weight is 543 pounds, and seat height comes in at 25.8 inches. Starting price is $8,499. The Shadow Phantom offers clean matte finishes, blacked-out components, and a classic cruiser silhouette without the bulk of a heavyweight bike. Its compact frame and low center of gravity make it ideal for both new riders and experienced cruisers looking for a no-fuss experience. It's not flashy, it's not aggressive, but it does exactly what a mid-cruiser is supposed to do: deliver comfort, confidence, and decades of proven dependability. Still, in cities like Atlanta and Charlotte, showroom interest has slowed. Part of that comes from a shift in perception. Riders want touchscreen interfaces, built-in navigation, and accessory-ready systems. The Phantom's value lies in its simplicity, and that's harder to sell in a digital-first world. Another factor is competition. Newer mid-size cruisers from Indian, Kawasaki, and even Royal Enfield offer more visual flash or modernized tech, even if they can't match the Phantom's longevity. Meanwhile, a bagger once known as unstoppable is now showing up on clearance floors. Number 2, Harley-Davidson Street Glide Special. In Arizona and Michigan, two states with deep ties to long-distance riding and American motorcycle heritage, the Street Glide Special is now facing a surprising twist. Once the crown jewel of Harley's touring lineup, this machine was synonymous with road presence, comfort, and power. Under the fairing sights a Milwaukee 8 114 engine displacing 1,868 cubic centimeters, producing 105 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque. Braking is managed by dual front discs and a rear disc, all tied to a full anti-lock braking system. The suspension system includes a dual bending valve, front fork and rear emulsion shocks with hand-adjustable preload. Wet weight tips the scale at 826 pounds, with a seat height of 26.1 inches. Starting price is $28,099. For years, the Street Glide Special defined the bagger category. It offered signature batwing fairing styling, premium finishes, stretched saddlebags, and an unmistakable Harley growl. The riding posture was commanding but relaxed. Highway performance was refined, and build quality was top tier. Riders from Detroit to Phoenix knew exactly what this bike stood for, and that confidence sold it by the thousands. But over the past 2 years, something changed. Riders began downsizing. Younger buyers entered the market looking for lighter, more nimble alternatives. Older riders, many with decades of experience, started turning to mid-weight cruisers that were easier to manage without sacrificing comfort. Even loyalists began questioning whether they still needed 800 pounds of machine for weekend rides or short tours. But the last bike on this list isn't a tourer or a cruiser. It's a compact performer that proved even perfection isn't immune from being ignored. Some of these bikes are steals. Like, subscribe and comment with your thoughts. Let us know which bike you think offers the best value under $2,500. Number 1. BMW G310R. In Florida and Washington, states where urban commuting meets scenic weekend riding, the G310R is one of the smartest, most refined lightweight motorcycles money can buy. It is powered by a single-cylinder, liquid-cooled engine displacing 313 cubic centimeters. This efficient unit delivers 34 horsepower, and 21 pound-feet of torque. Braking duties are handled by a single front disc with a radial-mounted 4-piston caliper and a single rear disc, both governed by a full anti-lock braking system. Suspension includes an inverted front fork and a preload adjustable rear monoshock. Curb weight is 361 pounds, with a seat height of 30.9 inches. Starting price is $5,125. The G310R was designed to deliver premium engineering in an accessible package. Lightweight, quick revving, and nimble, it performs beautifully in city traffic and still holds its own on back roads. Riders appreciate its comfortable upright ergonomics, fuel economy, and crisp handling. As an entry point into the BMW Motorrad brand, it punches well above its weight, often feeling more like a mid-tier naked bike than an entry-level commuter. Still, in cities like Miami and Seattle, sales have slowed. The main issue? Perception. Many American buyers still associate performance with engine size and price tag. Despite the G310R's capability, some dismiss it as just a 300-class bike, overlooking its real-world strengths in favor of larger displacement machines that cost more and demand more. If even smart, reliable, and affordable bikes are sitting unsold, then this market isn't just shifting, it's rewriting the rules. Don't miss out on more surprising finds like these. Like, subscribe, and comment below to stay updated on the best motorcycle deals and insider info.